You are. Both of the boys in blue in Champion Select now. Chronologic Gaming versus Cloud9. 4-3 versus 2-5. Let's see what they have.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good reminder. Counterlogic Gaming, they want to catch Echo Fox. They're in that fight at the 3rd place spot right now, trying to get to the top spot, whereas Cloud9 need to get into playoffs. They do have smiles about them right now, so that's good. We're getting the common bans here as we've kind of gone over. It started to peter out where Red Side almost always bans Aatrox, Talia, and Nocturne. The only other switch up there is if you don't get like a Zoe ban or something from the blue side. Sometimes they'll switch one of them out. But this has become pretty common here, and it will be Biofrost commanding the Rakan. Or maybe ReignOver. They haven't done a bunch of funnels, but it's a possibility.
It could be. There's the Olaf that ReignOver might have played as well.
Yeah, and Cloud9 break up that lovers duo. They take away the Xayah, so CLG won't be able to have the option of the funnel or bottom lane. Xayah Rakan. Gragas as well has been really rising in priority, and Svenskeren's a guy who played a ton of games on this champion as well. The body slam flashes come pretty naturally, as well as looking at those ultimate placements, knocking everybody around.
Gotta remember Sneaky with that Morgana yesterday for his first play back in the summer, as Mundo is locked in on the side of Chronologic Gaming. Darshan have a pretty safe lane on the top against Licorice's Gnar.
Interesting, yeah, they go immediately for the Gnar rather than the Darius, trying to get the bleed stacks up. And Licorice has had quite a few games on the Gnar as well. Definitely a powerful split pusher if he can get to it. We'll see if he's able to get any sort of control early on for them, especially with the power of the early Gragas ganks. Now that he's coming back to the meta as a jungler and as a top laner, everyone really needs to remember that they have to respect that early body slam flash. That can turn so many matchups. Yeah. And oftentimes if you get early kills over to champions like Gnar and they start to get those early items, they can be so much more oppressive and retain lane control after something like just a single game.
I also like the pickup of that to go against Mundo. But you get slows on ganks as he's trying to break CC with Burning Agony instead of one crowd control when he just kind of does what he pleases and walks away.
Yeah, you can build Blade of the Ruin King if you want. More 1v1 potential.
Get real aggressive.
Black Cleaver for shredding as well as the speed. And you already have really good tools against Mundo like the Hyper, super effective against him. Meanwhile, we are getting some more bans here towards the bottom side with the Alistar and Varus being split by these two guys, but an Echo ban from Counterlogic Gaming. Definitely iconic Cloud9 champion there for Jensen specifically, but Echo has not been too prevalent. So maybe a little bit of a snipe there.
Wonder if Jensen still tries to go with that kind of effect of maybe a Talon mid or something. They do need a little bit of that magic damage.
That's true. A lot of champions have come back with mid laners taking smite. Echo is one of them that can take the Raptors pretty easily as well. So it might have been something around that where they played an Echo smite mid in scrims. Here we go though. Another Lucian pops up, Riv.
One of my favorite delivery systems as well, the Orianna and the Rakan. And what will it be here as the AP is necessary? Jensen being very good at the rise, maybe paying a little homage to Huhi here.
Big reaction
from the crowd.
Taking his own champion against him, but no, it will be the classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jensen very big on the Syndra. I, for one, hope that we do not get a build similar to the Power of Evil build that we saw yesterday with all the move speed.
Flat out.
But he may very well take the smite. I don't have a problem with the smite. I do have a problem with the Twin Shadows and Shirelias. I think that's just too much money wasted on inefficient items or item utility. And yeah, you need damage. Move speed's great, but not at the cost of too much damage. Still want to get those one shots.
Oh, the extra, the shoulder pat and thumbs up from Reaper to Sneaky. And, he's just going down the line and doing it. I'm going to make a big deal out of this. It's a second game. Oh, okay, he's loving everybody. As a coach should be.
Got to keep up on that reality show. What's going down inside the house?
Clear the minds, make them happy as the coaches leave the players to their own device now. 5v5 on the Rift with what they have chosen. Who will come away with the victory? Both teams finding that victory yesterday, so a 2-0 weekend's gonna feel pretty good here for Chronologic Gaming or Cloud9. They come away with a win.
CLG trying to establish themselves as one of North America's greatest, and Cloud9 on the warpath, trying to get back into playoffs.
Yeah. Absolutely. I am very excited to see what happens. That Lovers duo breaking up. We got a Lovers quarrel in the bot lane now. As Biofrost gets the Rakan and Sneaky gets the Xayah. Yesterday, as we said, he was on Morgana. Still enjoyed himself. Played pretty well, as we heard during the interview. He had a good time. But back to that tried and true craft that he has honed over so many years. As CLG and C9 hit the Rift for game 4 of the day.
We do have another sweeper here, too. Remember last game, Dardoch on the Graves with the sweeper. He was rewarded with 2 ward kills.
Cha-ching.
Significant experience. 20 gold as well. Feels pretty good. ReignOver here. Let's see if you can actually find any wards. Usually you want to go around the Raptors to see those. Some emphatic fans here. I like it. Let's get behind the cheers.
And now silence. Comes over the Rift.
Everyone that I have seen recently play Gragas has used this Arctic skin.
We're going to figure it out.
And I feel like there's some sort of sneaky little secret that they're taking it for a reason, like, oh, it's, you know, slightly harder.
Strategical advantage.
The blue really blends in or something like that, and it's not just for the aesthetic. Uh-oh, first cleaver lands. Darshan's on the ward. Oh, get that ward, though. They have a sweeper here.
Who's going to get it? Who's going to... I'm gonna take it.
Wait, come back! Right over! Oh, well, there's the first mistake of the game.
All right, so following today's games, CLG Huhi will be joining Freak and Xayah on NALCS tonight. Make sure to check that out. We want to hear from you. If you have any questions for Huhi or the analysts, tweet us at LOL eSports using the hashtag NALCS for our NALCS Tonight show just after the games. Just one more as well to go after CLG and C9 here, but that's a good thing. The more the merrier.
All right, ReignOver, he not want to waste any time. He ran past the ward, didn't want to finish sweeping it. Now he's right down to the bottom lane.
Man, no vision very early. Who's going to ward before 2? Sneaky now taking the fight.
Oh!
Ignite is on, and the airy from Biofrost picks up first blood.
ReignOver says, welcome back, buddy.
Woo.
Takes him down immediately. And you know what? I'm going to say that was because he left that ward behind. He immediately had to get to his red buff. Every second counts for him in the bottom lane gank.
See you here again.
Yeah, so Biofrost, he goes in for the knockup. Sneaky just barely dodges it, so pretty good movement from him, but it doesn't matter because ReignOver flashes in an exceptional pillar right there, right up against the wall. So there was like nowhere for him to escape to, and they're able to finish it off.
Movement is now to his Raptors, leaving those up. I mean, you can see how quickly they caught Cloud9 off guard. Teleport back to lane instantly. So Sneaky doesn't lose too much in CS. You can see he's got a bit to clean up, but they are not going to let him do that quite easily under the turret. See, a buy would be just about 600 gold here for Stixxay, so they may stay for a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, he's running overheal as well on the Lucian. That's something that has actually become pretty prevalent, not only on marksmen, but even some jungle kindreds as well, because there is so much healing in the kit, and you pretty much only have to not die to people all ending you. A little bit of shield there from an overheal for fights. Definitely can go a long way as far as giving that little bit of extra survivability for these marksmen.
Quick hits with the boomerang as Licorice takes the tower shot for himself. We saw Huhi getting pushed in just a bit. Doing quite good on the CS in mid lane. Always becomes difficult having to Q and W. It just destroys your mana pool against someone like Syndra, who can push into you constantly. The lane evening out here on the bot side is that was actually good time for Biofrost to back. Well, Stixxay holding lane by himself, so that's a pretty good advantage for them. Yeah. They're back to farming.
Still's got all the potions. He's upgraded his talisman, so he's just going to rake in the money. Usually when the support gets first blood, you're like, oh, that is terrible. But Biofrost is trying to put that money, and he's investing it Biofrost does seem like the type of guy, you know, we've had him on the shows before. Where
very frugal.
Very, very concerned with investing and efficiency of his money gain. So he immediately spends the first blood money on more gold generation.
On more money. That's how you do it.
Planning for CLG's future.
It's what you expect from a dad, right? That's how they do it. Coming up on 5 minutes, only a bit of action from ReignOver in the bot lane. They feel comfortable with that to say, we don't need to extend that lead too much more. Guys play strong. Maybe they will. I could be wrong. At least they'll get the vision down here and make sure they can really keep that pressure on.
Yeah, ReignOver has been such a big part of CLG's early game, and why, even though they haven't dominated the league, they have had very good early games and have been, you know, near the top of the stats along with Cloud9. And right now, it's no different. He's going back to the bottom side where they got the lead. He's going to be able to sneak away the Ocean Drake here, which will be huge for CLG, because while he's doing it, Svenskeren, there's nothing really for him to get on the other side of the map. So this is time investment for the Drake and a decent amount of health as well, but they aren't really giving away anything to Cloud9. So it's a very nice early start here to the game for CounterLogic. However, it's not really going to show up that much in the scoreboard, but a lot in the continued laning phase here for all of their members.
Kind of had this discussion last game about the GP being up against the Mundo, and they actually put a lot of pressure there. So Svenskeren not really going top. They're not focusing Darshan, so he could become a problem later. All obviously a potential. But talking about that last game, he's had a pretty easy early game to start things off.
Yeah, that's something where there was a possibility, right? There's an opening. They've got ReignOver on the bottom side. I guess the Drake they didn't know for sure he was on the Drake until they finished it off, but it did look like a pretty good opening up there as far as a possible dive under the Mundo. You know, you want to get that in before your stopwatch unlocks and
level 6.
Yeah, now that he's getting closer and closer, and ReignOver has had time to reset, the window's kind of closed, but definitely something to keep in mind.
Back to bot, 58-50. Sneaky holding pretty solid in the lane after getting taken out. Really just that one wave behind. They're going to teleport back to top. A little bit of that armor guard from Ninja Tabis here for Darshan, as they feel like they're going to be here for quite some time, and this might be Licorice's cue to go back as well. He is sporting 2,000 gold.
Yeah, you can see Darshan groups up the minions, and he's going to leave a couple extra ones here to kill off a few. While Licorice teleports back, he's going to miss one whole melee. Huhi, dodge there on the stun. He did have some backup here from ReignOver, but I think it should be continued focus on the bottom half of the map. As Darshan we were talking about, as soon as his stopwatch unlocks, it's really, really, really hard to dive a Mundo, because you can pop your ultimate while you're low and immediately stopwatch, and you still get the ticks coming through, and you basically have to get 2 kills on him. And it shores up the weakness of Mundo, where early levels you have to be worried about using your ultimate because it does cost a lot of health, but with the immunity of the stopwatch and that extra protection against the dive coming through, it makes it so much more safe. And again, Gragas is on the top side, but kind of running out of time.
Yeah, the options closing quickly, especially as we said, 8-minute mark hitting. There's the stopwatch, and here comes an extra ward for Darshan.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sniffing around. He didn't quite see Svenskeren. Slipped through the battle lines.
Big guy being sneaky. Huhi, though, does have flash, does have cleanse. Scatter the weak, just missing on the right side. Nice distance to slow down Jensen, and he Zanya's the ultimate out. So stopwatch is used there, maybe a rinse and return for Svenskeren, as ReignOver allows them to get this wave pushed up and delete some of the pressure.
And you really don't want to chase on mid lane ganks like that through enemy control wards. The reason they don't continue it, you can see CLG have control ward there on the bottom side, and if you don't have any vision, there's a very real possibility of counter gank turning it around, especially if you have missed a lot of spells trying to get that gank to work. Now though, continued invade on blue buff.
They got the vision down, so they'll be denying anything C9 tries to put back in the mix. Zazel and the rest of the team are going to be able to get that one with the abilities of Jensen's Syndra. Nicely picked up. CLG returns to lane, and Svenskeren is dodging out on a little bit of aggression there from ReignOver. Still our only early action towards Sneaky on the bot side that has kind of resulted in anything. But CLG, as we said, they're proactive in the early game to start things off as well in the jungle.
Yeah, both these two teams right now, gold pretty evenly matched as Darshan starts to go aggressive. He wants to chase him down in mini form.
Didn't have enough of that Gnar bar built up, but he says this actually kind of hurts every time he's connecting that hyper shot in.
Yeah, definitely true. And again, you have to be careful because as Mundo, you want to pop your ult when you're low so it doesn't cost that much health because it's a percentage. But if you're getting low and you're popping it, then I worry about burst damage too. All right, Biofrost is actually just hovering around for a counter gank there. They were trying to bait Licorice in.
Oh, hello. He still has a hop, so if he can get himself close to the wall, it'll be good. One wallop in, actually ults them. Huge damage coming in from the Ludens of Svenskeren, but they actually take down Licorice before any more action from C9 can come in.
Great early roam there from Biofrost, and that is what teams talk about a lot as far as tracking the bottom lane recalls. They had just gotten off that recall from Biofrost about 20 seconds before the Cloud9 recall, and Xayah was still coming from the fountain. Cloud9 not really respecting the extra man available for CLG on the map. And that's why ReignOver just runs at him. As soon as they see him, it's all in. Now that was a very nice timing on Licorice's ultimate, but Biofrost still, as soon as he gets out, he knows they have that timing advantage, so he flashes, doesn't hesitate, and does acquire another kill for CLG.
Good pressure on bot side, 113 to 95. Stixxay is doing a little bit of dance around on the bot side of the screen. Svenskeren here with his runic echoes, not Ludens. Error in the last fight, and he picks up Rift Herald for the team. This will be great for C9 to slow down the map in any of the parts where they feel they're pressured and advance it on another side. Might be looking at that top side for Licorice or mid lane if they can hit up Huhi once again. Slow back, so calm and tempered in this bot side after Sneaky went down. Even with the teleports and ignites on both sides. Doesn't seem like Xayah and Sneaky want to go in for the fight. Just a little too much movement and disengage if they need it from Biofrost and Stixxay. Also allowing this to happen is a very smart thing. Rift Herald Cry goes out. CLG is privy to knowledge.
ReignOver, again, with the camp on bottom side as well. Should be able to take up a dragon in exchange for the Rift Herald. Even though Cloud9 do jump on it. Will be objectives traded. And that is going to give them, you know, a decent amount of extra pressure on the outer turrets, but mostly going to be more effective for later on in the game. Really, it's going to be about, can Cloud9 use that Rift Herald to get the first turret bonus gold? Uh-oh, Huhi knows Zonia's.
Gets the command protect on just in time. Heads to his own team, but Jensen now starting to control that mid lane.
Perfect opening. Once you bully a mid laner out to try and use that Rift Herald activation. Svenskeren does come over though.
Body slam to safety. Command Shockwave is also down now as Huhi stayed with that low health, and he will continue to.
Yep, that Ocean Drake really helping CLG there. They're starting to regenerate. And they do clear out the minion wave as well, kind of closing that opening. So we still have this big objective on the table. First turret, bonus gold. And Cloud9 really need to turn the Rift Herald that they traded for the Mountain Drake into that objective and into that extra gold.
Ooh. With Huhi out of lane, I feel like they might be able to rotate up from CLG's side to Jensen. He feels it though. Still in the fog of war right now. They just see him. Throws down a ward at the last moment. Goes in with the entrance, and the charm is on from the quickness. Stixxay and Biofrost coming up with a kill.
And no time to use the stopwatch there for him, Jensen either. Both summoners can't get the stopwatch off on time under the turret, and CLG's bottom lane with the roam does get them the kill, but Licorice is able to get that first turret bonus gold anyway for Cloud9, so the gold's still pretty close to even until the turrets do get matched up.
The irony of Jensen putting that ward down in mid just before he backed to say, I wonder if I can still see anything else happening if somebody goes off in the mid lane. People are still coming for you in the mid lane. He probably feels pretty sore about that one. Going back in though, he is going to have both summoners down, so he's going to have to be careful.
Biofrost has definitely been on fire here for CLG, creating a lot of these early kills. Rakan in his hands has been so effective, and even in international tournaments, he's gotten a lot of praise for his Rakan play. happy to see him feeling comfortable once again. So Stixxay was waiting in the fog of war. He jumps up, gives Bio the opportunity to go in. And nice job there from Stixxay as well, finishing him off within the charm duration. So that Jensen was unable to get himself out of that one. Even with Jensen by himself building up a big CS lead that was even bigger than this before they went mid and got him killed. The extra team play has been in CLG's favor.
Super being proactive. Bot lane moving up to mid because Sneaky and Zeyzal playing super safe. They just shield up every time they want to go in. Every entrance is a battle dance out with no kill. So they said, let's get Bjergsen. Or I'm sorry, let's get Jensen. We'll be able to take him down. And we see them already repeating once or twice as his summoners are on the way back up. 150 to 171 in that mid.
And if you look at the scoreboard on the bottom right now, you can see the Rift Herald is very close to timing out.
Yeah.
So Cloud9 are going to have to utilize it soon.
Where's he going to put it?
You definitely, one of the worst things is if you go into a skirmish and then you die while it's this low because you can't use it while you're dead, and then you just don't get any use at all. So it's better to literally use it randomly in the jungle like this than get zero use out of it at all. I mean, the enemy team could get 25 gold off of it, but you need to utilize that pressure. It looks like they maybe will just get one charge off it, and that's about it.
Yeah, they pinged on it as soon as it went down.
Oh, he didn't hit the eye.
ReignOver away. Oh, the shot comes through at full HP. And they do good damage to the turret. C9 prep mid to go down in the next few minutes as ward wars in the bot lane continue. Woo! There's the charm on immediately. Shield can't come up right away as the Feather Storm is Sneaky's safety and a great denial of damage from Zeyzal. But the last two shots from Stixxay are enough.
Biofrost and Stixxay find another kill for the team, and ReignOver's here to capitalize on it.
Uh-oh. Could get out. It looks like Svenskeren's going to be there by himself. They decide against the dive. At least for now, they're taking out the blast cone maybe for somebody else's escape, but the TP in does deter any more aggression.
Yep, another TP here does come in. Scuttle Crab will be picked up afterward for CLG, but here it is. Stixxay dodges right past the Braum crew. Biofrost gets both of them in the knockup and the charm, and then just barely Stixxay's able to get off the last little bit of damage there onto Zeyzal and finish the kill.
Indeed, a relentless pursuit. Won by Stixxay and Biofrost, who are turning up the heat this game on that bot side of the map. The Rakan grabbed, C9 grabbing the Xayah, saying you will not get the combo. So they throw Lucian in the mix to break up the Braum Lucian, and we get the back and forth here going in favor of CLG to start things off. 4-0 as we come close to 20 minutes, just 17.5 on that scoreboard. And Rift Herald not really doing as much as C9 may have wanted. And the lead still in there for CLG.
All right. Next opportunity should probably be this second Mountain Drake because, again, we mentioned it so many times, but once you get 2 Mountain Drakes before 20 minutes, as soon as Baron spawns, you can literally take it with 2 people. Either the Trundle or the Mundo can easily tank it there. They've got an Ocean as well, and then you just need 1 DPS source. What you would do is have the rest of your teammates push up lanes or be the distraction somewhere else. And if you have vision control, like, you can easily finish that off with all the extra true damage from those Mountain Drakes. So, second Mountain Drake is going to be big. Zeyzal doesn't get over the wall.
Svenskeren can't fit through. Why would you fit through? He's got a flash over.
All right, that is going to definitely give CLG some priority around the Drake. Licorice, though, still... he's plugging away on the top side, constantly keeping up his pressure, whittling down these turrets, getting some objectives for the team. Is working his little heart out over here.
Yeah. Darshan building up that Sunfire capes early, so Licorice can't spend too much time, at least on top of Mundo, doing damage. But Licorice doing a heck of a job after just a bit of pressure topside, 209 to 190. And clearing out all that vision as CLG starts to work bottom. Will they get the rest of the team, though?
Oh!
Ultimate goes in. ReignOver's going to be able to secure it. And it looks like they're holding off on this one. Biofrost's going to be able to make it over as ReignOver flashes away.
Yep, they just barely get that one in time. And now Cloud9 are going to be faced with a very scary late game here where vision will be so important. They can't leave Baron unattended for much time at all, or else CLG could easily sneak it.
Slow wave building up on that bot side. Actually looks like it'll be pushed out anyways. Stixxay and Biofrost are heading there. No real pressure here for CLG, so they should be that one to make the first move. Still, Cloud9 could get a great scatter, a great pick. You just have to set up that vision on more than the bot side.
Yeah. I mean, so far, if you're going over Cloud9's replay, the game for the first 20 minutes here, they haven't really started any plays. They had an attempt from Svenskeren one time mid, but other than that, the only big positives for them was Jensen in the mid lane out farming, and then Licorice on the top side gaining turret damage and constantly pushing in the Mundo. He's done his job as the side laner here, keeping up the pressure, getting the turret advantage, but they haven't really come together as a team to create anything yet. And CLG actually are the ones to establish their first set of control wards around Baron. They're already threatening with the double mountains for Cloud9, and now they're faced with a face-checking issue here where someone could easily get bursted out.
And that possibility of initiation, that first pick, Rakan, Svenskeren possibly going down as ReignOver gets blasted forward from the cast. A command shockwave back as Zeyzal goes down, and that allows Stixxay to push forward, feeling safe for a second kill. And now he's 4-0-1.
Yep, I mean, you gotta feel for him, because even if you see that coming, there are so few options. There's no other vision check here for them, and Darshan and Licorice are again down here like, okay guys, hope you're having fun up there.
Absolutely. 21 minutes in, here we'll see this Acer Predator replay as another engage coming from the bot lane of CLG.
It's just so hard, right? Rakan's engage range is a screen away, so CLG did the correct thing here. They set up the vision control, they have the double mountains to back it up, so you have to get in range. They just waited, they jumped on the opportunity, and they take down some extra kills for themselves. 6-0 now.
Feeling pretty good at the start of the game. And this is where we said Cloud9 was finding their strengths in general. The early game gold leads, but not finishing them out. How is that recovery system now for Cloud9? What can they do to get themselves back from being down to start?
Well, another one for the Licorice counter. Taking turrets for himself. He does have Executioner's Calling. He's got Black Cleaver for the armor shred in this 1v1. Press the attack as well. He's trying to get some turrets for them. C9, the rest of the team too, finally does get mid. So that is some good gold for Cloud9 to try and mount their comeback. They're not so far behind that they can't win a team fight. They just need to have much better setup than they've had currently in the game. They cannot continue the way this game is going.
No.
With the the vision control for CLG and the constant Rakan engages while people are split.
Usually the interesting thing to see is the team with the turrets not getting any kills, and they're still doing well here. T9 is getting the turrets, but not any kills, and they're going to be falling behind very, very quick. I said that backwards, but it's CLG getting the turrets and not the kills. I just confused myself. It's okay. 23 minutes on the clock. 2 Mountain Drakes for CLG as we see what kind of damage that does once they actually approach these objectives. And with Darshan scaling his face off, he's going to be hard to reckon with if they even get to these side lanes one-on-one.
Teleport from Sneaky here out to the mid lane. You can see again, they're so concerned with the Baron area.
That one misses. We've seen what happened when Rakan does not get his target. He goes down immediately. The trade there is for support for jungler. So I'd still say in favor of CLG to start things off with that Baron up.
Ooh, yeah, explosive 1v1. That also was while Darshan is up in the mid lane, so Licorice will get a little bit more damage onto this turret.
Yeah.
Still trying to up his counter as far as objective control, and actually he's zoning Darshan off. He's killing Darshan off!
It's that consistent crowd control. Burning Agony doing hardly anything. Almost gets the Mega Gnar! He could not activate it, and Darshan plays the trickery on this one with Huhi just on the backside. ReignOver doesn't want it to end, but he takes a lot of follow-up damage as Huhi and Darshan are not ready to answer. And now they back off as both teams test each other.
Always take stopwatch on Mundos. Buys the time. Huhi
stopwatch
comes in.
On everybody.
Puts an end to the Licorice's happy time there. I mean, that's the chase we're talking about, though. With Blade of the Ruin King, Black Cleaver, and Executioner's Calling, that is the trinity of Mundo killing items. So it runs at him here, As soon as the stopwatch goes, he's like, just wait for the finish. Oh, so close to going Mega, though. Not able to get the extra health. Yeah. Oh,
shoot.
Shimmy shambles.
He's back on the Rift, though. He knows 0-2-0. Made a mistake on that one. I'm feeling a little too strong for the moment.
What is your go-to family-friendly, disappointed outlet when you're streaming?
Nope, I have a sailor's mouth when I'm
you don't have a backup? Okay.
Wet socks.
Wet socks.
It actually has to be wet socks. It's one of the most annoying things in the world. It's safe, not toxic. And everybody hates wet socks. Raise your hand if you like it. No hands in the crowd being raised.
I like the noise they make, maybe. All right. Well, no noise being made around the Baron. Control wards are down once again. And the blanket. If we turn on the Fog of War right now, just look how scary it is for Cloud9. Remember, this is vision control with a Rakan on the enemy team. Down goes Baron. Double mounted Drakes burning through it.
Svenskeren, eyes on him. He's going to be the first over the wall, possibly. Sneaky throws the feathers to get the stun, but he's got to be suppressed, and they have none of that. Biofrost ticking down, goes down. But Baron still in favor of CLG, and they'll make their way home.
All right, Cloud9, at least for themselves, they can say they got the turret and the kill onto Biofrost. So it wasn't a free Baron with the double mountains.
True.
But they definitely are not happy about the trade. And they're trying to actually get another one back for themselves. This might be a little bit risky. I'd say maybe just try and burn the dragon down on the way out, because they do have the numbers advantage. So at least they're getting something back for themselves here, and they don't allow complete Drake control on the side of CLG.
So Cloud Drake will go over to Cloud9. Fitting. And we'll see this once again.
All right. They've got more than enough damage here for CLG to burn through it. Svenskeren throws the ultimate there. They don't decide to fall. Oh, actually, Jensen also made a good attempt. So that's a pretty good smite there, honestly. You should give some credit to ReignOver. There's a lot of extra spells flying through. And a lot of the time, people blame the junglers, even when you get to the point in the game where mages are doing like 600-700 damage combos as well. And enough of those are flying around. Praise the junglers for those smites that they do hit.
Wow, flying through these turrets. Featherstorm goes back from Sneaky as he feels like there was going to be quite a bit of an engage. And his defense is now really hindered. We'll see if they can take a little bit more damage on this turret before taking too much themselves on the side of CLG.
Yeah, plus with Gragas ultimate down, their siege becomes a lot more confident. They've got Baron and power on these minions, and they don't have to worry about one of the biggest team fight skills, especially if Gnar goes mini now, Cloud9 have to back off. They don't have any of their big frontline team fighting abilities.
So this should be CLG kind of hitting the turret, backing out, using the vision to get to safety with no minions in the mid or the bottom lane. So Cloud9 have a bit of time to think of what to do next, and that's how are they going to counter this fight. We talked about the initiation. We heard Licorice just talking about how strong initiation is right now and where to find that in champions. That first pick Rakan has been coming up huge for CLG.
Definitely true. Biofrost has been on point. Very good engagements to get them through this stage of the game. Yeah. But now, it really is going to have to be about Cloud9 using and executing on those difficult abilities we went over. The Gragas ultimate has the potential to split a fight in C9's favor, and even with a gold advantage to CLG, be able to outplay it, right? But it's also hard to time that when you have a Gnar on your team, and Gnar does also rely a lot on the rage generation, and they need the Mega Gnar to come through, because Licorice built for that Mundo killing. He built for the 1v1. He definitely needs the extra health of the Mega Gnar to be able to go for the engage, as well as a big stun. Trying to start it up now.
Ooh, knocked back on that one, but pushed back out as he gets himself to safety. Still waiting for the ball delivery to come in. Shockwave is there, but they're waiting for C9 to fully commit to the fight. One goes in, charmed up onto Svenskeren, very low, ignited down, and Subjugate takes him as well with the tick. Sneaky is back with Zeyzal, just about the same HP for them. Stixxay lives with a sliver of health at 403, no gold for that shutdown coming through as they find ReignOver. The follow-up fight now to come, but there's no slows that are in range to tag onto CLG.
Trying to figure out what that was. Some applause for Bio Daddy.
3,672 on the power play as we see how it happened once again.
Yeah, they focused on Svenskeren there. He burns on the way out. And then just the edge of that shockwave tag Sneaky and drag him back in.
Oh, that battle dance. Woo!
I mean, if they had actually gotten the last little bit of damage there to finish off Lucian, I think that Licorice might have even flashed forward and like, you know, positioned more aggressively so he could get chased down with Blade of the Ruin King, you know, hyper, and the extra speed advantage. They might have been able to chase down some stragglers, but those a little bit of extra shields coming through from Biofrost, from all these extra sources here for CLG do keep him safe.
He's feeling good. Knight's Vow from ReignOver. Zeke's coming in from Biofrost.
Every little bit,
especially for the guy that's 4-0-3. He's actually been doing amazing for himself. Varus yesterday against Echo Fox, 6-0-7 for Stixxay. Absolutely playing like a monster this week and helping CLG get to that 2-0. Week 4, we'll see the second tier turret going down in favor of CLG. C9's cask is the only thing that possibly stops them. But Darshan just continuously tanks the turret. These guys are gigantic.
It's actually a really good point to bring up with Stixxay, because he's had that success on the international stage too at MSI, and yet people never really since then have had the continued faith in him, but he's been performing really well.
Biofrost is in, and he delivers him back to Stixxay. There's a double kill for him. Darshan and Jensen on the left side, and it looks like Jensen will fall. The triple for Stixxay, and it's now going to be a kill coming through for ReignOver as they make their way into the base. Licorice is the only one alive right now as he tries to defend the Nexus, and Darshan and ReignOver doing their best to take down the turrets. It looks like they're trying to pad the stats, actually. Good ultimate from Licorice, denies a bit of that time. And the turret heating up forces off Darshan, so they may live to fight another day.
Yeah, they're going to have to go and get the easier target here. But again, Cloud9's space is in shambles. Even with Licorice trying to 1v2 over here, they should be able to power through this inhibitor. Never mind, he's got 1v2, then right off of it.
Oh, as long as he can keep that Warlock from ticking up, this is going to be huge. ReignOver now making a mistake along with Darshan for staying too long. He's going to be able to slow him once again. Glaciers is ReignOver's prison right now, and he will be able to chase him down. Frozen Domain just giving him enough to get out.
Woo! Licorice is in full 1v9 mode, trying to keep the last bit standing here for Cloud9, and he chases him off that third inhibitor, which is so incredibly important.
Here it all is again.
All right, the initiation comes through. Biofrost flashes in again. He gets right back to the carry line. He didn't quite tag Jensen there, and Jensen got off the ultimate to kill him. Ooh. Stixxay, though, was able to get 3 before he goes down in the back line. But again, the final boss here, Licorice. Licorice pulls off a lot of good combos here at the turrets. Because CLG are focused on the turrets, they actually walk right into him. They line up for back-to-back double stuns, and then Darshan draws Taro aggro under the doubles. Here we go, though.
Biofrost in and out. Licorice possibly going down immediately. Zeyzal and Licorice down to about 1,000 HP combined as ReignOver makes himself safe behind the team. 4 ultimates used in succession. Very quick there from Logic Gaming.
I really got to mention again how important that last stand to keep the inhibitor was up. CLG, though, they're back onto Baron, and teleport's ready for Licorice.
Svenskeren looking for the top side. They do not want a 50-50 this fight whatsoever on that objective, so it looks like they'll stand tall, toe-to-toe, seeing who will engage first. Biofrost is just over half on that cooldown, so expect him to go in when it's up.
And actually, because Cloud9 were able to defend at the bottom inhibitor there, Licorice pushed them off 2v1. At bot time for the top inhibitor spawn, and they can just sit mid lane to deal with these super minions. There is a bit of a minion wave building up right now on the top side. There's no super minion up there, so they could just send anyone, you know, to go prune it a bit, maybe take out the ranged minions, as those are the ones that do significantly more damage. But right now, Darshan actually wants to keep up that pressure, prep their side waves, and force Cloud9 into face checking again.
13-7 for CLG. Attacking on the kills, attacking on the turrets. And a 3,000 gold lead actually, as it's almost 6,100 for C9. 4 turrets now in favor of CLG, or I'm sorry, Dragons. And now it's going to be all about that Elder Drake next, something they could force Cloud9 into.
And it's so important where the money is going for CLG too. With 7 kills now for Stixxay, not only does he have the early game combo we talked about with the Blade and the Black Cleaver, but the crit is coming through. So he does have the scaling with Infinity Edge and Rapid Fire Cannon. So it's so much here for CLG about Stixxay weaving his way through these fights to take down the priority targets.
Heck yeah. Send your energy, spam that chat. YouTube, Twitch, what you're watching on, CLG or C9. And C9 definitely needing a little bit of that oomph right now as CLG has all inhibitors open around the horn and are actually sitting still with 2nd tier fortified inhibitors on the map.
Okay. Spam it there in the chat. Are you CLG? Are you for Cloud9 coming back? Looks like a lot in the chat are for Cloud9. Definitely going to be a difficult stand here, though, as Baron started up again.
It's a good mix. We hit into that Baron pit, 36 minutes on the clock.
Sneaky's going to teleport in. 6,000 health on the Baron, and they pull off.
Ooh, Winter's Bite once on ReignOver, almost connected. Does not get him to pull back with the ability feathers, being a different cast. ReignOver be able to get in.
That's a big chunk of damage. But remember, the priority target, Stixxay, level 17, super fed Lucian, is the main focus here for Cloud9.
Licorice taking quite a bit. He doesn't have the Gnar bar anywhere in sight either. Over onto Sneaky. Featherstorm goes down as the focus now onto Biofrost, but looking in the middle of the fight, that is ReignOver going down fast. Darshan uses the ultimate to get himself to safety, and this looks great for Cloud9 to be able to stall fights in the middle of the map.
They're clutching it right now for C9. They get the man advantage, taking down ReignOver, and now they can push out the minion wave and move themselves over to the Baron.
Putting themselves goal side, if you will. The prize, the Baron. The win of the war on the Nexus. And right now, the battles are continuously going back and forth. Changing victors each time before we get a final. 4,000 health on the Baron. Darshan is there. ReignOver nowhere in sight, so the 50-50. More like a 60-40 vote, if you will. And now it's going to be C9 in control.
Oh my, the fans just willed them to win that fight and get Baron back into this game.
Here it is.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's take another look, because on this top side, Biofrost does find Sneaky. So look at this. He gets the engage. ReignOver, though, is basically frontlining on the other side. Shockwave and full Rakan engage were used on Sneaky, but he Mercurial Scimitar'd into immediate ultimate. Sneaky there absorbed so many cooldowns on the top side that the rest of Cloud9 killed off ReignOver in basically the 4v1, because Huhi's ultimate, Biofrost's ultimate engage were both used onto the Xayah, and Sneaky didn't let them touch him.
You gotta imagine as well, ReignOver was trying to subjugate a tiny Gnar. While still good, not as fantastic. They get in there and he dies a little quicker than he expected to, as the wards are cleared out. And what a flip-flop of the map now. C9 knocking on the front door of TSM. Gonna take their time while doing so. And it seems like they'll bring the waves up first before getting any closer.
What an incredible story this split too for Cloud9. Going through so many roster swaps and being at the bottom of the standings, finally putting him back in, and now having to climb their way back to force their way into playoffs for a chance at Worlds. CLG trying to stand in their way still, though, as they have a slight gold advantage, and so much more now about the setup to that team fight. Guardian Angel was now also picked up for Stixxay. So this super fed Lucian has so many defenses. You went over. They've got the Knight's Vow there on ReignOver. They have the Guardian Angel and the Overheal for bigger shields on Stixxay. And then they also have Biofrost shields on him, as well as the Zeke's for a little bit extra damage. But still, are they going to be able to have the positioning here?
Seems like Biofrost initiations, while still kind of right off the bat, are now known by Cloud9. Sneaky's able to dodge them out. The team is separating a little bit more, and they're able to counterattack much more efficiently now.
Yeah, I think he should have his eyes now on Jensen, because the Syndra, has no way to cleanse out of that initiation. Jensen would have to either flash or use his stopwatch, which he still has the active available for. But that doesn't even have the same effect, right? There's in no way is that similar. He's still going to be stuck in a poor spot. So we'll see if they're able to get the initiation they want. Cloud9 are knocking at the doors right now.
Crazy.
Trying to make the comeback a reality.
What a turnaround, coast to coast, and C9 are ready to finish the game in their favor. A whole lot of front-end damage, but can it be followed up? Svenskeren just a hit from going down, and he falls to the ignite of Biofrost, but there goes ReignOver. A bit more damage within the fight as both junglers are down. Darshan tries to step forward as C9 back up.
Oh, both junglers down with Elder Dragon 20 seconds away, Riv. That is going to be full-on
It's almost
recalls.
both, Kobe. Baron in 12 as well.
Yeah, the Baron buff is about to time out, so they won't have like any pushing. Yep. But vision set up for Elder is non-existent. So now it's everybody swarming to Elder with no junglers around.
I like this fight a lot better than with junglers. Who's actually going to be the one to step up? Do they wait? It's going to be 20 seconds on each as they fall at basically the same time in the fight. And I would say Frozen Domain is going to get ReignOver there a little bit quicker, especially on blue side.
Uh-oh. All right.
See how they get there.
CLG have first positioning, forcing Cloud9. Actually, they just show themselves right in the open here. All right, jungler race. They both died at the same time, and now they're headed down mid lane. Look at them go.
Gragas 4 furlongs back as ReignOver just rounding the bend. They're about to make themselves the mid lane as the team is peppering back and forth. Will they be able to get to engage? Summoners are up on both sides, and nothing happens.
It's Svenskeren's first one to the fight, but CLG have the inside track.
Ooh, little stun onto Darshan. Looks like to keep themselves relatively safe. He still wants to be the front line and say, what are you going to waste on me? Is it enough to engage? They assess the fight once again.
Holy,
still very separated.
This is a quadra cannon wave on bottom side CLG have stacked up. Look at that sucker.
Who remembers Quadra Cannon Waves? Pepperidge Farm remembers. There's the initiation from Biofrost. Licorice has to dive out. Gnar is not used offensively, and now Jensen's trying to step forward, but he eats the calling from Stixxay. Feels good to step forward into the side, and now, with health bars low, the fight must continue as Elder Drake is on the map.
Licorice just went mini-Gnar, so he'll be exhausted. He can't get the rage up for another few seconds, but he's taking out the wards that are on the Elder Dragon right now, and look at the ultimates. Sneaky is one of the only players that still has his available for the team fight.
Wave is gigantic. Sneaky clears it out relatively fast. Definitely quick enough for him to get back, and he can teleport in if they give him a great position to do so. Stixxay staying close, just getting the shots. Darshan still a front meat wall for the fight, and Cloud9 is trying to find an in. No for sure initiation gets them into this fight, except for Zeyzal hitting a Glacial Fissure and a follow-up.
Oh my god, Syndra ultimate's back off of cooldown. You gotta watch out for those stun setups. Shockwave as well for Huhi.
Also pay attention to how many orbs Jensen has on the ground for that ultimate delivery when he unleashes power. 3,000 health. There's the cast going out. Biofrost is down immediately with unleashed power. Svenskeren to the back is safe. Huhi tries to get himself into a spot where he can deliver, but he goes down. Darshan may fall next with the ultimate on. Oh my god, Stixxay still gets the Elder Drake. This makes CLG unstoppably strong.
What? They got 2 kills for Cloud9. Yet CLG still get the Elder Dragon, and with 4 Elemental Drakes, Cloud9 have to back off even with the numbers advantage.
Absolutely
at the minion
wild.
Wave on top side. Another Quadra Cannon Wave makes its way into the base, and side waves paying off there for CLG. Woo!
Pressuring each other into the most intense moments this game. C9 is being tested as they change their roster, and CLG coming up with that steal.
You really do got to commend Jensen for the positioning here. He knows that Sneaky is the carry with the answers for the Rakan engage. So he, the whole time, is at the back of the fight. And as soon as Bio goes in, Jensen just unloads on him to get that kill and keep his range so that even with, you know, the crazy engagement range from Rakan, they can't get to him.
You have an idea of what everybody's looking to do now. Jensen most likely will try to find Biofrost once again in these fights, stopping the initiation dead. Oh no! A very big oopsie by ReignOver, and it was,
Tensions are high, Riv. Tensions are very high in this game. Cloud9 trying to make their run, get themselves to playoffs, and CLG trying to cut them down. 6,000 health on the Baron.
Over the wall, Svenskeren and ReignOver, both smites are there, 17 to 17, so you're getting damage, the same damage out of both of those.
Look at Licorice, he's pushing down mid lane, there's not much time.
It's going to be Baron over to Huhi and the team. Remember, they also have Elder Drake, so it's going to be a very cautious fight for C9. Svenskeren seems to be stuck in the pit. It's Zeyzal trying to hold it off, and it looks like Licorice knows he needs the back. CLG are closing down on what could be the win as Licorice backs, and it is going to be a hell of a hold for C9.
2 kills do go over, so they take 2 of the Baron buffs off. But CLG, they still had the Elder Dragon buff there, so when Svenskeren goes in and Cloud9 try and stick around to defend him, that's 3 kills plus the Baron kill for CLG, and now it is Sneaky and Licorice against the world.
And on second look, there are no minion waves ready for CLG, buying more time as well as a top C9 and bottom C9 counter wave if this fight goes wrong for Counter Logic Gaming.
Can they do it? The hero that Cloud9 finally put back in here, along with the new rookie of the split last split for Licorice. These 2 guys trying to buy time for their teammates to revive. They have to give up 2 inhibitors, and it's just going to end at that.
Tempered aggression from CLG. They know what they can take, and they back out before it becomes troublesome. C9 now fully back on the map. Baron has 2 minutes left. Way more than enough time for CLG to get back out of base and play.
People are just letting out random screams before killing out minions now. This game is so intense. 46 minutes in.
Amazing.
Multiple Barons. Elder Dragon has been killed. And still, it could go either way. 2 inhibitor advantage, though, is huge for CLG. They also have the Baron buff. So all of the pushing advantage should be for Counter Logic Gaming. They should easily be able to push up their side waves to prep for the team fight first.
Everything getting cleared out of the jungle. Any buffs to be taken, thrown off the map. And it looks like the waves are set for C9 for one more attempt.
Best game so far, Riv.
+1, Kobe.
My favorite of the weekend to date. Take a look, though. We counted out Cloud9 in the early game when CLG were kind of on a rampage. They had full control, but Cloud9 were able to come back, that big teamfight victory. They got the Baron, took so much for themselves, and again, now they're trying to stall out for their inhibitors to spawn. Bottom side, building up again, and these aren't just cannons. These are super minions, double stacking down there, giving the auras to the rest of the minions, and that is going to require some attention to clear out. CLG, though, they're going to use this extra pressure and move up into the base once again.
Jensen doing what he can. A little janitorial duty on bot lane to sweep that one out as CLG is focused on mid. Inhibitors to go down is the only thing, so they only need waves for the Nexus turret, and they've brought that right down mid lane.
Moment of truth here for Cloud9, trying to clear out the minions, and CLG's playing it slow. They just want all the inhibitors. Oh, Sven goes in!
Svenskeren very low, has to start backing off his cask and flasher down. Licorice not getting the Gnar bar just yet. Biofrost falls, and in the front, ReignOver is very low. The continuing shots, what a shockwave coming in from Huhi. Could turn the fight. ReignOver and the rest of the team are able to just suffocate Cloud9. Licorice is forced out of the base, and CLG will put a scar on the dream of Cloud9, going 5-3 now as they take down C9.
CLG have done it! They move up to the top of the standings with the likes of Echo Fox. Woo! Woo! Is right, Riv. Now we've got what? Echo Fox, Team Liquid, 100 Thieves should be the ones up there sitting with them.
Absolutely incredible stuff, as well as definite places to look for falters in the game, to look for errors. You can look at both for both teams. Great play, and that play that kind of took them back a few steps.
Love that we also still, after all this time, have Smithy's dad supporting the squad.
Hell yeah.
so much time there with that. And man, North America, we've got 4 teams now tied for first place, making that run for summer, for the championship, to try and get the best placing in playoffs.
Going to be tough stuff for them. CLG feeling very good about this victory. You can see ReignOver and Darshan talking even about the situations, you know, this, that. It feels like you should be happy after a win, but you can tell there were things that the team was like, hey, could have been better here.
I also love games like this because these are unique situations where you get into the late game where there are so many high pressure choices you have to take that you don't get a ton of opportunity to practice things like that.
Yeah.
So there are so many things to go over. Our communication at every stage, when we're, you know, trading for Baron, when we're deciding to go for the fight, or we're trying to get the Smite steal, how are we trying to delay for our split pusher? You know, how are we going to pull this one off there? There's so much to go over when we get a game like this.
Absolutely, and a lot of that will be focused at the bot lane of CounterLogic Gaming, who played super well this game. So to come to grips with that heart attack game, let's hear from Ovly and CounterLogic Gaming's Purifier in the bot lane.
Thanks, guys. Stixxay, congratulations on that victory. Such a strong performance from you in such a back and forth game. There were some super tense moments. So how are you guys able to keep your composure and pull off the win?
It was really stressful, but I'll just say that we had a really good comp to snowball early, and their comp scaled a bit better. So once we messed up like one of our plays in the mid game, it came really hard to end the game because they were just outscaling, and at a point you could see, you know, they kind of just winning team fights even though they're so far ahead. So, but we just had, I mean, we have like the best Native American mid laner, so that's why we won. So.
And is there anything that you'd like to say to your opponents who put up a pretty good fight against you guys?
I definitely don't think that, you know, like C10th should be a meme. I think C9 is going to be really good, especially back with their normal roster. So yeah, I think they're one of the better teams in LCS. So.
And you played great today, but I understand that maybe it wasn't all you. You have a lucky charm in the audience here today. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I think every time my mom's ever came here, I have a 100% win rate. So shout out to my mom.
Is that your mom right there? Well, see, Mom, it's all because of you. Congratulations again on your win, and thank you. And for more in the game, let's hear from the analyst desk.
How do you feel being like sent towards that?
Hey everyone, welcome to the analyst desk. We were talking about some scrims earlier, but now it's time to talk about the game that was at hand. Of course, Wild Turtle, welcome to the desk.
What's up?
Talking about dogs and everything else. Turtle, are you still a cat, by the way? I remember talking to you so long ago.
Here and there, like, you know,
here and
sometimes,
there.
yeah. On a full moon, here and there.
On a full moon, Wild Turtle becomes a cat. Of course, let's talk about this game. CLG taking the win over Cloud9, and you had pointed out at the end of Champion Select, you thought Cloud9 had the overall better comp, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought they were going to have the better comp because I just thought the Gnar Mundo matchup and the mid matchup looks pretty favorable for Syndra too, especially with the Gragas. So I actually thought they were going to be having a pretty good early game, but I think ReignOver ganked bot at like level 2, which made like bot side like kind of boom, and it was just really easy for them to play through bot side.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great game. I mean, CLG getting first blood for their 8th game in a row, the fact that the Gnar split push did take the turret in the top lane, and the fact that Biofrost, when we were talking about the team comps, Wild Turtle was like, well, yeah, unless Biofrost lands every single one of his engages, which for the first 29 minutes of the game, he was hard carrying CLG. And then the reason the game was so great is it started bouncing back, and then we had crazy Elder Dragon fights, and it was really fun.
I have a line to read about that. Or the likes of Huhi and Stixxay loaded into the game with the intent of pumping out damage. Biofrost locked in Rakan just to say, I'm helping, and I'm helping, and I'm helping. Brought to you by State Farm.
And the big thing about this was we talked about getting broken out of the laning phase by the early gank that came in here by ReignOver, and this is what allowed him to get on the map later. Just goes in with the W, the level 2 gank, doesn't need to even land it, that's fine. And then he starts going around the map, he gets this play off onto Licorice and Svenskeren, and that started influencing the matchup because, as Turtle was pointing out, the 2 losing solo lanes, this is huge in turning that around.
Yeah, I think Biofrost is just pretty much popping off. Like, I think he carried the early game pretty hard.
Flash, boom.
Yeah, he was just like, I think he killed like everyone on the map at one point.
Yep. He had kills or assists on all 5 members of C9 within like 15 minutes of the game.
That's Bio Daddy for you.
And the big thing about this too was we were talking about the Mundo pick into the Gnar and things like, or excuse me, the Gnar into the Mundo, and you were saying that you think in the current meta, split pushing to victory almost isn't an option. You have to eventually turn it into a team fight.
Yeah, I think just like looking over like replays from other regions, it just seems like teams that generally win are like teams that are really good at picking fights in the right spots. Like, you're never going to see someone like split push their way to victory. like there's always going to be that team fight factor. I think like picking a champion that gets silent priority and then team fighting with it is like pretty good. But you don't want to pick champions that can't team fight really. Yeah.
But yeah, ended up being kind of the case here over time. We had very, very close team fights. We had some big clutch plays, though, as well. Licorice had a really good sort of base defense there at one point. He's in a 1v2 and actually managed to get the solo kill.
Yeah, and this was at the tail end of a fight where it was very close to Stixxay not dying during a turret dive, which would have ended the game, and also was after Licorice defended at the Nexus turret to ult them in. But another key thing that happened here is Licorice can't quite get the final kill onto ReignOver. He wants the W to hit there, just misses it, and then the final house is juked. Remember, if he dies, Baron is actually going to be coming up before the respawns are there, and they could have gone for it. So really slim margins in this game.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch.
Yeah, I mean, just unfortunately went for the slam there. I think Wallop is the official name of the ability when you're Mega Gnar W, but so close to like getting the double kill in a hard 1v2. And I know we actually had Lorlo on here a little while ago talking about top lane matchups. He said, you know, #1 Darius, #2 GP, those are the big ones. Then you kind of go down to Jarvan if you want to. You guys weren't super convinced about Gnar. It looked pretty good to me. Again, first turret from earlier. You know, a couple of thoughts on Licorice.
I thought he had a pretty good game. Like, he took the first turret, got his lane kind of messed with by Rakan, still was able to hold out, and he had a very split push focus build where he had the Blade of the Rune King early on to continue to try and pressure the Mundo. Just, it didn't quite work out because their 4-man core fell so far behind, so there wasn't any pressure to protect the split push.
Yeah, I think he played pretty well. Like, he was like pretty much just doing his job, like doing what Gnar's supposed to do, taking the turret. So I actually think he played pretty well that game, but the boss side of the map kind of
boom.
Yeah, kind of boom early game. So.
Yeah. Biofrost was really, really good. So we have some replays that we want to show you from how the game ended because C9 did catch up in gold in no small part Licorice. The team fight over Elder Dragon that you think is C9 winning the game.
Yeah, this fight was so close, and watch how the Rakan doesn't necessarily get the great engage there, and Jensen was getting very good about killing him on the way out. A massive Gnarl comes in, they catch Huhi, you think the game is over.
Right, so you think after this, we'll probably go down mid lane. They have a wave that's right in front of the turret, but they kind of stay
Elder.
They kind of stay near the Elder, and instead of just chasing them off of it, they help deal the damage. And with that, the elemental dragons were totally mismatched. There were 4 for CLG, 1 for C9. So once they got that, it allowed them to have enough pressure to continue fighting, and eventually they get this game ender.
And this fight as well was so close. Again, Biofrost goes down to Jensen, but you're just kind of waiting for the turn. The 4-man shockwave from recently green-carded Huhi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Gets done.
10,000 damage team fight for Huhi. Huhi, I think, is now officially, well, I guess he's still going to battle
Can you call him the best NA mid?
Yeah, for the best NA mid, right? You've got 3, I think, or so in league. Now, Keen counts as well, so we're up to 4 NA mids in the NA LCS, something around there. I guess now DeMonte's adding in. So we've rapidly added new NA mids this split. Yeah. We added a bunch recently. Bjergsen was already in the list. But one more NA mid, Huhi in the running
That's
now.
how America was founded, Mari.
That's true. That's true.
That's kind of a fact. Either way, though, big stuff there, and you can see, you know, the damage graphs coming around. A lot of damage out of C9, and against Mundo, no surprise there. But yeah, CLG, though they had thrown their giant leads and had lost, I think, a lot of games off of mid-game misgivings, able to kind of collect back up, which was good.
Yeah, they're tied for first now.
Yeah, they are.
We have just a pack of teams at 5-3 and 4-4.
This is a pretty.
You're one game out of first, dude.
I know.
How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. Like, I actually didn't think we were gonna be doing that flawless split, considering our first week or two, but. No offense to the other teams, but they're not playing that well either, so we're just kind of creeping up.
Yeah, everyone struggling to really find their footing right now with the meta going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's going to reward kind of who's got the right grasp on how to play the game. Either way, you guys right behind first place. First place 4-way tie with, of course, CLG as part of that one. Either way, thank you, Trundle, for joining us, but now it's time to recharge after that game. When we come back, it's Optic versus Clutch for our final game of the weekend. Meet us back here after the break.